So we're just letting Penny make choices here. No pressure. She gets to just decide what she wants to do. If she wants to get on the trailer, she can. If she wants to smell, she can. This is day 2, so I'm not going to ask really anything of her. I'm just going to take what she gives me. Probably, depending on what I get today, I might ask a little bit more tomorrow if she's game. But if she's not, then again, she'll get to decide. I think it's really important for us to remember that when we trailer horses, like, we know what's happening, but they don't. Good girl, you're okay. You're okay, good girl. Good girl, good breath. Good girl. Good girl. Your little worried eyebrows, you're okay. Good girl. Good girl. So I like the shake. I like the lick chew. I like that I didn't even have to ask and she took 2 more steps forward to come explore. Self-loads. Good girl. Gets back off. It's okay. Literally no pressure. I'm just keeping, like, whenever she's not paying attention to the trailer, I'm just keeping her focus here on the inside of the trailer. Good girl. Another shake. Maybe another lick chew. We'll see. Smelling the ground. But I kind of just read her body language. We forget, because we know what this trailer is. We know where we're going. We have all the information that the trailer is quite scary for them. They're getting on a big metal box that then moves, potentially alone, maybe with friends, who knows? And they don't know what the destination's going to have, and they could get in an accident on the way, and they don't know, They don't know. So, good girl. So, we just know we're going to be trailering Penny, so we're going to start. Good girl. Good girl. Now she's on. So I'm not going to have any pressure. I literally have the rope over my hand. Lots of pets. She gets back off. It's okay. Again, no pressure. Good girl. I'm keeping a hold of the rope. I'm not just standing here like this, but I'm also keeping an eye on her face. And if she looks like she's going to panic and starts to run backwards, I'll move quickly with her, but I'm not going to put pressure on. I'm going to let her go backwards right now. At some point, then I'll start maybe adding a little bit of pressure. But right now, you can see from her body language, her little eyebrows are all worried. And just kind of the way she's standing. She hasn't pooped yet, so that's a thing. Hi, honey. But occasionally you can see the whites of her eyes. So I'm still letting her make the call about what we're doing. Good girl. And I know she has some trailer trauma, so that's why we're doing this approach. If she was getting introduced to a trailer, I would still do the same approach, but I wouldn't be so concerned about pressure. Good girl. But I want this to be a happy experience for her. I want her to want to get on the trailer. So again, I'm just letting her smell everything, making sure her halter doesn't get caught on anything. Hi, honey. Are you going to get back on? It's really tempting right now to kind of just put a little pressure on the halter and ask her to step up. So this is where, as a human, I have to exercise a little patience. Hey, mama. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Another lick chew. Another step forward, sniffing the ground. There was a little alfalfa in here yesterday. And yesterday was like a 15-minute session. She ate some of the alfalfa and then she put her 2 front feet on the trailer and then she got off. So what I wanted her to understand is that the idea of moving into the trailer means she can be done with work. And this is work, right? This is mentally strenuous for her. Good girl. Now she may get on or she may not. But it's okay. She's going to come in here. She's going to sniff some more. I'm going to give her lots of room. Good girl. Lots of lick chewing, lots of praise. Good girl. If she puts a back foot on, she's done for the day. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Lots of praise. Good girl. Good girl. Super. Good girl. She looked. I let her look. Literally no pressure. Good girl. Good girl. And I want her to know, too, that if she gets off the trailer, she's not in trouble. She can get off the trailer. Good girl. Good girl. Shakes, shakes, licks, chews, release attention. Good girl. She can get off the trailer. It's not a big deal. She's allowed. Because at some point, when we put her on the trailer and we need to lock her in, and she needs to stay on the trailer, she'll know that we have her best interest in mind. It won't be that, okay, now I'm going to put a little pressure on because she's busy with something else. And I just kind of touched the rope a little bit, pulled on it just a smidge, and got her attention back to the trailer. Good girl. Good girl. She's going to eat little bits of hay. It's totally fine. She can clean my trailer. I don't mind. Good girl. Good girl. And right now I don't have any incentive for her. Good girl. Really the biggest thing that is becoming positive. Good girl. So again, I have just the rope kind of ready, but I'm going to pet her and tell her she's good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I want this to be a happy place. But the incentive here. Hi, honey. Good girl. Yes, we're videoing you, you beautiful girl. Hi. Yes. The incentive, right, is that this place is good. And she gets to make her choices. And she's respected. And you can see, like, little whites of her eyes are showing, you're okay, mama. Her legs are kind of spread wide. Her ears are back. She's in, but she's not comfortable. So the problem is that she's not comfortable. Okay? So she's obedient. She's not comfortable. She doesn't want to be here. So I'm going to wait to put any pressure on her until she's comfortable. And so that would be the difference between teaching a horse about a trailer and dealing with one that has a little trauma. If she was new to trailers, she probably would just be curious and unsure. So curious and unsure, I might just say, yeah, get on the trailer and add a little encouragement. Yep, and as she goes back, I'm just going to let her go. So I know from history that she will run out of the trailer. So I don't want her to think that running out of the trailer is going to result in pressure. Because that's going to create anxiety. It's not that I want her to think that running out of the trailer is a good thing, that she's allowed to do that. But I don't want to produce additional anxiety. Good girl. I really would love it if she'd just put one more foot on the trailer. Even if she'd just pick it up and pretend like she's going to do it, I would probably let her be done for the day. Good girl. I'm trying to find a good spot to stop. I'm super proud of her. She's doing good. Good girl. So again, not going to ask her to get on. Not going to give her pressure to get off. Not focused on the trailer. Going to get the focus back. Occasionally I'll deep breathe. Yeah, so I make sure that, like, I'm breathing. I'm not locking up in my breath. But also to let her know that, like, she can breathe. Good girl. And I'll check in with my body, too. I think that's really important. Just as only time you're working with a horse, that you check in with your body. And you say, am I tight? Am I tense? Am I worried? Good girl. And that you let that tension go. So, like, I'm intentionally leaning up against the wall. Deep breathing. Yeah. Good girl. And if I have any tension in my neck, I'm kind of rolling it out. a little bit, kind of letting my shoulders roll it out, just so that I'm leading the way in a relaxed place. I'm trying to facilitate movement in the direction of relaxation. Good girl. Lots of licking and chewing. That's really, really good. Really good. Good girl. Gosh darn, Mama. Just move one foot forward. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. I like that I have both ears forward right there. They were forward and then there was a noise and she turned them sideways, but I like that they were forward for a second. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Holy crap. Good girl. Really good girl, Penny. So I'm not going to rush her out. I'm not going to rush her in. I'm just going to pet her, tell her, good girl, that she's so good. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Penny. Good girl. Good girl. She's done for the day. Good girl. I'm not going to rush her out, but I am going to just let her explore. Hi, good girl. Really good girl. And she's going to get out, and that's okay. Good girl. All done. Good girl. Right back to her stuff.